Hello, friends. So happy to have you for this mini podcast. Today, we're talking about how each type can better communicate with their partner. Just a quick tip for each type, just something you can grab a hold of. Listen for yours and your partners. If you don't know your types, make sure you grab my freebie at enneagramandmarriage.com. You can also deep dive into my book or on our deep dive Wednesday episodes. Today, we're talking about tri-type, and we are diving deep today. Last week, we did an intro. Today, we're talking about how do we use it when we're stuck? But today, here, right now, we're covering some communication tips for Enneagram, the 9 types. And next week, I'm going to be going over some Myers-Briggs typology with you too. I love integrating both, with Enneagram being my favorite system. But I also love making sure that you know I love John Gottman's work, internal family systems, cognitive behavioral therapy, Myers-Briggs, and anything else that has a potential functionality to help your marriage to thrive. So make sure you go back to the previous episodes. And also, if you're just thinking about becoming a coach someday, then be aware that we're going to be starting our coaching practicum again late January. So that could be a fun gift for yourself or your partner for the holidays too. Now, midweek mini, let's jump right in here. I know you're probably just as busy as I am. I just had a big weekend visiting my family in Michigan, and it was a blast to go before the holidays. We got to go to a basketball game for my dad's alma mater, University of Detroit Mercy, and it was just a blast. So I'm so glad we had a group of about 20 of us at least there, and so good to honor those traditions that I can forget sometimes. So very, very meaningful. But sometimes in these holiday moments, things do not go well. Things are much harder and rougher. And I will tell you, we had some of those moments too. But what we have to do in those moments is not just give up and go into our type's worst points. So if you're a 1, something that can happen is you can jump to answer people with that gut quick response. And instead, by choosing, and you're hearing me say choosing because with that deep breath, you can make a choice to empathically listen and seek to understand, you will do so much better because you won't invoke shame on the other person. And you will remember that you're also enough. And if they're saying something to you, you know that they don't mean you're all bad. It just works better. So hear that grace from your partner, offer them grace. And even if you're just like, we're just annoyed right now, it's okay. That's a great start too, to just instead of globalizing, this is all bad, just we're just annoyed. We're busy. We're going to offer some grace and some listening. Now, if you're a 2, something you can do to better communicate with your partner is allow yourself to vocalize your needs as they appear. A lot of you, if you're in that 2 space, feel like you can't vocalize your needs. And so you don't, but then they come out passive aggressively. So just start naming it and understand that there is a synergy that comes when we start to name our needs and our partner sees us as a real human who actually has a voice and has needs. And I know we say voice a lot for 9s, but it's also very applicable for our 2s because they often feel like I have to hit burnout before I can ask for help. And our goal here is for you to really receive support. And we have been talking a little bit about just making sure that in our collective that we don't burn out because we don't ask. And so we're all sort of in a 2 posture sometimes, especially women. So just keep sharing and asking. I had to ask Wes for a couple of things today, and I'm so glad he was in a space to get them. I'm like, we need allergy medicine and paper towels if you have the space to get them, because I was just going to do it in that 2 space. And I realized, no, I need to share the load. Okay, so that's you too. All right, 3s, one thing you can do is promote honesty and authenticity in your relationship this holiday or anytime, just to better communicate together. So instead of you just answering in a terse, tense way, offer some authentic reasons. Talk from the heart, not just from that space of sarcasm. And your partner is going to really see the sadness behind. I have a lot of my 3, like the person married to the 3, checking in about that with their 3 right now, where they're like, okay, let's dig a little deeper. But if you can do that work already and remember you're beloved, even when you're not perfect, 3s can be very perfectionistic. It will go a long way. Okay. Now, fours, what helps for you is not pulling away when you feel misunderstood. It can be so hard because you need some time to process, you feel overwhelmed, and you numb out your feelings, or you take on everybody's criticisms as a whole. But remember, keep communicating your feelings, keep sharing, keep allowing yourself to have needs, and allow yourself to be the heart type who does also have needs, but also listen and, like we said to choose, don't do it in a backwards manipulative way. Just speak from the heart with your peers and share what you truly need, which our heart types need attention, not withdrawing as much as sometimes our fours can do. Now, for fives, really good tool for you for communication is prioritizing healthy conversation daily. This can be because you're so efficient and into accuracy that you are just doing things. You're even creating and experimenting and running little mini science experiments all of your own. But the truth is, if you prioritize spousal communication, communication with your kids every day, it goes so very far. And you will already be beating the time that you're always so afraid to lose by actually stepping in and not stepping out, because then no one has to come after you and be like, where are you? It takes a lot longer to do it that way. Okay, six. Some of you can remain so task oriented and just let's plan for the worries that you can miss going deep in your relationships and just having meaningful conversations that are deeper. And sometimes that can even happen just because you're like, I love fun, silly things. I always think about worries. And I'm not talking about worries here. I'm talking about just having deep, rich, meaningful conversations about things you both like. And that's important. And that takes time. And you're very smart. So you can take some time to ask some questions and really get to know each other on a deep dive level again, and just allow yourself to have that richness too. Like, hey, just checking in with you. Anything interesting happened today at work, and really being a good listener versus running into worry. Take a deep breath if you start running into worry, but just catching up on a deep level. Also, hey, have you seen this movie or do you want to see this together? There's this really rich plot to it. Or let me tell you a story about, I know you sixes love your serial killer shows, but something deeper and more meaningful. All right, sevens. Oh my gosh, be brave to share your true feelings with your partner. Sometimes we share those more surface level emotions because we don't feel that permission to go deep. I know when I wasn't doing my work as much, I would not even feel that permission to go deep with myself, but particularly not my partner when he didn't know that I needed that or that he needed that. So that's something you can educate your partner on if they don't know that, sevens, is that you need that sometimes. They need that sometimes. And you will both be healthier if you're not just keeping that all stuff down. And then you get negative loops, and you don't want that as a seven. You want more positivity, right? So that helps you ultimately, even if for temporary times you have to go a little deeper. Okay, now eights can better communicate with each other as you both process your communication with patience. And so I don't know your partner, but you are, as an eight, somebody who moves very quickly and into the future sometimes. And so if you take some patience to process the communication and really, like I said to ones, be listening actively. And I know you're a gut type also. So taking a pause before you respond, that's very big. And just allowing yourself to head into some perspective taking of, I wonder what brought them to this space, and just allowing yourself to notice that they are stressed out instead of just going into defensive mode of why are they on me. That is so important. And also make sure that you share with healthy others about this too. If there's a person that sometimes you have, like a therapist or a best friend, that you can say, hey, I'm trying to be a better partner and spouse, but I also need a space to vent because I have a lot to share with them, but I'm trying to be as patient as possible. So I'm going to also share a bit of that with you, so they don't get it all. And don't forget internal work as well, where you process some of that. And last but not least, how can our nines better communicate with their partner? Through speaking up about how they've been feeling and what their needs are. Sometimes our nines feel so peaceable to us that we just expect them to not share anything. And we sometimes project that onto our nines. I know we say that a lot to our nines, but sometimes partners, we just expect them to be so easygoing, and that we're thinking, oh, they just want to watch funny shows and maybe have domestic fun and get cozy and care about their right action, but they never want to confront. They never have anything big to talk about. So if you're a nine, making it more regular that you do check in about deeper things, I know they're on your mind. I live with a nine, but I also know that it takes tremendous courage and activation for you to do that. So don't forget your body work as you do that. Just like we said to eights and ones, there's a pause there. But for nines, sometimes the pause can be so long. Like the eights and ones want to get it out, but the nines can take so long to just share that they may say, forget it. I'm not worth it. It's not worth it. But then the anger can build up. So you matter, your voice matters. And you can find all of these tips, by the way, also at Instagram this week. We're doing a double duty here where you're getting them here, but also there. So that if you're like, wait a minute, I want to see this, but I'm driving. Don't forget that. Also, you heard me say you can grab my book for an early stocking stuffer or as part of a holiday gift package for a couple you love. And I will be looking forward to talking to you next week, too. We'll be doing some of our Black Friday sales. So excited to be sharing the fun t shirts. Wes, Hannah, Melody, our whole team are making. We have the witty, the artistic, the organized, and I'm so excited to be handing that part of E&M off to them for extra fun holiday merch. And I will be looking forward to sharing more of our fun here together too. So you have a good day. Take one tip from today, and I'll talk to you soon.